burning like a Hellcat.
Hey guys, this is Matt, the Old Avenger, and today we're doing another Halo video. This one is going to be a speculation video on my part of the future of Halo 5 and just the future of Halo in general. And what we're going to be going over in this video is possible future updates, rec items, stuff like that being added into Halo 5, and also future Halo games, whether it be Halo 3 Anniversary or like a Halo 5 ODST style game. But to get started, we're going to talk about weapons. Now, the weapon selection, I wish there was... I like the classic weapons, and I like how they're trying to add in the classic weapons, but they're kind of playing on a nostalgia effect a lot more than they should be. Like, my idea, rather than adding these new weapons, is adding a setting that you can turn on, like classic textures, and any weapon that has a classic texture, it just adds it in there immediately, rather than adding like the new weapons that are the classic design but aren't really the same weapon. They're just looks like the old one. But I mean, I do appreciate them adding in the different functionality that like the Halo 2 BR adds in, where it's quicker fire and reload, less recoil, and with the C pistol making it do a lot more damage than the regular pistol. I like how they're doing that, but like classic textures, like Halo 2 SMG, for example, a classic AR skin, though the AR hasn't really changed that much, to be completely honest. And then like a Halo Reach DMR skin or something like that. I mean, these are just ideas. But another thing that they could do is like add in actually add in classic weapons, but keep them the same as they once were. Like, for example, the Brute Mauler, basically the Covenant's variant of the shotgun, or the Brute Shot, the Brute variant or Brute equivalent to, say, Fuel Rod or something. Grenade Launcher from Halo Reach, for example. The Brute Shot and the Grenade Launcher, very similar, but both different weapons that need to be in Halo. Then, of course, there's like the Spiker, which is... it kind of would defeat the purpose of having the Brute Plasma Rifle, because that's the only reason Spiker was made in the first place, is to have another custom, unique weapon. But still, it'd be a good idea to have it in. And then also, there have been leaked photos of the Plasma Launcher from Halo Reach. That should be added back in as well. And then, I personally think the Concussion Rifle, I believe is what it's called, from Halo 4, and I believe is in Halo Reach. And also, probably not everyone's idea, but the Sticky Det from Halo 4 might be a good idea. But then, like, to come classic vehicles, I can't speak. The Chopper. Everyone wants that. The Chopper and the Prowler from Halo 3, both brute vehicles. Everyone wants those in. They need to add those in. Those are very iconic vehicles. Basically, the Prowler is the equivalent to the Halo 2 Spectre. It's the brute version of the Spectre, which the Revenant is also a kind of changed version of that. But then, talking about the Revenant, they should add in the Revenant from Halo Reach, but also an anti-air Wraith. Would be an interesting idea, but they also need to add back in the Hornet or the Falcon. I mean, the Wasp that they added in was an attempt at the Hornet, but it matches more of what the Sparrowhawk design looked like from the old concept art. But still, they need to either modify the Wasp with more armor or something, give it crew capacity to bring back, like make it its own vehicle, not just a reskinned, debuffed version of the Phaeton as it currently is. And then speaking of new weapons, there were, I don't remember where it was, like in a Art of Halo 5 or something, there were two weapons, a weird classic shotgun and another sniper rifle design, which I believe is also a classic sniper rifle design. Both designs that they could add in, but aren't in there. Why, I don't know. But besides that fact, ideas of classic armors like the EOD, an actual ODST armor like the one from Halo 3, the oh my gosh, the CQB, I think that's what it is, the CQB, other things like that. Stuff that was in like Halo 3, and Halo Reach, like the JFO I think is what it was called. Armors like that, they need to add those back in. My favorite armor of all time was EOD. And once I saw it wasn't Halo 5, I was kind of upset about it. Well, they added in the Cyclops, which is kind of a mix between the GRD and EOD. I use it for a time, but then I switched to the Doom-like helmet that is the Void Dancer, but I still want the EOD back. A friend of mine desperately wants the CQB back, because he loved that design. He's currently having to use a Pathfinder because that's the one that's closest to it. I mean, stuff like that is what 343 needs to do. Rather than start making these new designs, like add in old ones. Like, even from Halo 4, the Ricochet, the Perfect. I'm not sure if either of those are in right now. They just need to add these back, rather than making these new designs. They need to add in classic ones. But now, on to other stuff. Future of Halo games. Now, Halo 5 was the way it was, and I have found parallels, which leads me to think that they're going to make a Halo 6, but then after Halo 6, they're going to come out with a Halo 5 ODST kind of game where like you play as the removed missions from Blue Team that were taking out of the story of Halo 5. You play as those missions, and then they're also going to do probably, I think they might do a Reach-style game, where you have a crew but you're just one person. What my speculation for what they're going to do is in Halo 6 is because it might parallel to Halo 3, because Halo 4 paralleled to Halo 1 with you waking up out of cryo sleep and crash landing onto an unknown foreigner installation, fighting new enemies. For in Halo CE, of course, it was the Covenant being the new enemies, and then the Flood later on in the game. In Halo 4, it was the Foreigners. It started out with the Covenant, but it was the Foreigners, AIs known as the Prometheans. And then Halo 5, it introduces a new character. Parallel to Halo 2, you can play as Chief, and then other missions you play as Arbiter. Well, Chief, Locke, as in Halo 5 situation. But then a situation for like Halo 6, since you could play as both Chief and Arbiter at the same time, maybe make it to where you can set up your own team in the pre-game lobby if you're playing multiplayer. If not, you just play as the hero, as the commander required for that mission. But my idea for it is, before the match starts, you get to choose between your elite characters, which would be Arbiter, Shipmaster, and then the two playable elites in Halo 3. B characters, but then Palmer also could be a character, Thorn could be a character, then Osiris and Blue Team, of course. But you have to choose a commander and then the other three. That'd be a very interesting way, like, make it to where you're more your way of how to play. And it would also introduce the new visor designs, which they'd have to do new loadouts. And this is leading to why I'm thinking that there's going to be a Halo 5 ODST style game, is where, of course, you're going to go back to the missions that were removed, like the Meridian missions for Blue Team. The missions, like in the Cryptum, they could be held out in the Cryptum, and you could even at the end of the game, you could add in a final mission where you yourself are flying the Pelican if you're playing a multiplayer, controlling the turrets or other vehicles, but you're in the Pelican that you see at the end of Halo 5. And you have to survive and get to Halsey. That's just my idea. And then the reason I'm thinking this is because they're remastering, kinda, Halo Wars 1, but they're also coming out with Halo Wars 2. My idea is they're going to remaster Halo 3, but it's also going to come out with Halo 6, is my idea. Possibly not. They might remaster it separately. They probably are. They're probably going to remaster it next year, 2017, 2018 possibly. But then, rather than coming out with they will they might remaster Halo 3 ODST, but they also might come out with the Halo 5 ODST idea and have a remastered version of it there, and then come out with Reach. A remastered Reach, but another Reach game. Like, I don't even know where a story would go there. But this is just my idea, and agree with me or not, nothing's changed in this idea, but also something I see in the future of Halo and Halo 6, if the playable elite idea comes through, that I said about being able to play as the Arbiter and all that in campaign. Like, there might even be, if my idea is not there, Arbiter specific mission where you play as Arbiter and his fire team, or fire team of service, and blue team, and then like possibly Palmer's team or something like that. And then there would be playable elites in multiplayer. But another thing I have the idea of, and other people share this idea, is playable soldiers. Like, the elites would be taller, have more shields, can like do stuff that the elites are able to do in the campaign, the friendly elites. Soldiers could teleport. It will like remove their shield or something. And like, they can't use thruster packs, but they have teleport, and the elites would have like evade or something like that. I mean, there's so many possibilities. 343 just needs to look at these possibilities. I mean, they could do them. Like, there was a post on the Halo Reddit of like a few months ago of neon skins. I mean, weapon skins are still options that they're considering, that they could use at any given time, but they just haven't. But these are just my ideas, my speculations. Don't take them for anything. Take them with a grain of salt. Most likely my ideas will not be heard by 343 unless one of my subscribers knows someone there. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it a lot. This is Matt, Guillermo Avenger. See you next time. Peace out.